Okay, so here, let's see. I'm using the create element command, and I'm creating a new H2 element. And let's see, it says, please enter two body parts and press enter, tab or enter. Okay, so I put a semicolon. Okay, so now I'm putting this element into a variable called, I think it's h2b. Let's see. Yeah, h2b. Okay. So now I'm declaring the h2b variable. So I'm just using the same let keyword. We can do that. We can just use the same let keyword for multiple variables. I'm saving and refreshing. And here we can see the code that made it, right? So the create element command has two parameters, and it goes into the h2b variable in this case. Okay, so now we're back. So now we're creating a variable called textbox1 and textbox2. So I'm saving. Okay, so these variables are going to hold input fields. And so now we're creating these new input fields with the create input command. And so the input fields are going to be empty. Um, we could put text into them, but it's kind of easier not to. So I'm creating two of these input fields using the create input command. And then I'm putting the first one into a variable called textbox1. And then I'm putting the second one into a variable called textbox2. Now I'm saving and refreshing. And now we can see the two input fields that are created. So here's the syntax. It's just a create input command. The input fields are put into the textbox1 and textbox2 variables. And so here we see a breakdown of the create input command. So the create input command is spelled exactly like that. If we don't want any parameters, we just put just some empty quotes. And then here it's being put into the textbox2 variable. Okay, so now we're back. Now after we created the H2B the element that we put into the h2b variable. Now we're using the style command again, and we're setting the background color of this element to 255, 150, and 0, which gives us an orange value. And we're also using the style command on the same element to give it a text color of white. So I'm saving and refreshing. And here we can see that the element now has an orange background and white text. So here we see the syntax for it. It's just the background color command again, and the color command. So now we go to the bottom of the setup function, and we're going to create another element. So here we're creating an H3 element. And it says, what body parts did you enter? And so here we're going to put this into a variable called H3A. So now we're going back up and we're declaring the h3a variable. And now we're saving and refreshing. And now we can see the element appearing. So this is the syntax to create it. So it's the same as, so it uses the same create element command, but instead of creating an h2 variable, it creates an h3 variable. Okay, so now we're back. Let's see. Okay, so now below where we created the element, we're going to say textbox2.changed. And we're going to say that when the change command occurs, the message to function is going to be called. So now we save. Okay, so this is the syntax. We're using the change command on the textbox2 variable. And when it occurs, it calls the message to function. So this is a visual explanation of what's going on. When the empty input field is put into the textbox2 variable, and the change function listens for the user to press tab or enter. If the user enters knee, then they've put something into the input field, but when they press tab or enter, it triggers the message to function. Okay, so now we're back. So now we're creating the actual message to function. And so we're using the function keyword, and then we're using the message to name of the function. I'm saving and refreshing. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to create an array, actually. We're going to create an array. Unlike the crazy images array, this one is going to be filled. We're going to fill it right away. And we're going to fill it with strings. So strings is a computer science way of saying text. So the first condition is ulcers, and the second condition is gas. The third one is upset stomachs. And then we have, let's see, bloating. And then we have infections. They're just sort of funny conditions, right? And then we have pain, which is not good. And then we have dryness. And I think that's it. Oh no, there's some more. Okay. Itchiness, which I didn't spell right, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to save, and let's see. Now I'm just putting a comment that just says array so that we know that that's an array. Okay, so now we're creating another array, and it's called specialists. So I think it's the specialist that we see if we have these conditions, right? So anyway, so the first one is a specialist. Oh, I didn't spell it right. There we go, specialist. And then the next one is a dentist. And the next one is a doctor. And then we have a nurse. And then we have an X-ray technician. And then after that, we have, let's see, a radiologist. And there might be one more. Oh yeah, a podiatrist. Okay, cool. So that's our specialists array. Okay, so we save. Okay, so now we can see the array is like the array that we created before, except instead of holding images, it is holding strings or text, basically. So yeah, so arrays can hold all kinds of stuff, right? And this one, in this case, is holding strings. So there aren't as many spaces in this array as there were in the other array, but that's okay. And we can just we don't have to go through a for loop to fill this array. We can just fill it manually if we want to. So yeah, so that's it, right? So yeah. Okay, so now we're back. Let's see. So now under the place where we create the H3 element, we're going to style it. So we're going to use we're going to put the style function on the H3A variable. And now we're changing the background color of that element to yellow. Using the style command, again, we're changing the text color to purple. So 135, 0, and 255 is purple. And now I'm just saving and refreshing. And now we can see the element has a yellow background and purple text, and this is the syntax and the code that created it. And that's it for now.